when you go outside and see the empty streets, the empty stadiums, the empty train platforms, don't say to yourself, it looks like the end of the world. What you are seeing is love in action. What you are seeing in that negative space is how much we do care for each other, for grandparents, parents, brothers, sisters, and people we will never meet. People will lose their jobs over this. Some will lose their businesses. And some will lose their lives. It's all the more reason to take a moment when you are on a walk or at the store or watching the news to look into the emptiness and to marvel at all that love. Let it fill you and sustain you. It isn't the end of the world. It is the most remarkable act of global solidarity we may ever witness. As you let go of any control on your breath and bring your hands in front of your heart in Anjali Mudra. I'm going to open the practice. I'll chant the sound of Om. I hope you'll join me. And I'm going to sing Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. I'm going to sing that 3 times. May all beings in all realms find peace, happiness, love, and may my words and actions support this. Taking a deep inhale to begin. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. And with your next exhale, you're welcome to bow your head towards your heart. And then release your hands and lift your gaze. We're going to start by coming up to standing. And you can move your blanket or whatever you were sitting on just off to one side. All right, and you come up to standing. I'm gonna go, let me go here. There we go. Okay, come up to standing, take your feet a little wider than hip distance, and we're just gonna begin to take this movement where we're just opening through the body, letting the arms dangle and swing. Connecting to your breath again. So taking a couple deep breaths in through the nose. So we're going to take that pushing hands. The exhale is going to be out the mouth. The exhale is quick, like you're blowing out a candle. So when you're ready, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you slowly let your body come back. Deep breath in. As you come back towards stillness, just taking a deep inhale and a complete exhale. And then let's take one more, the one we often do this one following, where it'll be 3 short inhales through the nose. And the exhale, you'll bend both knees, open the hands, and go take it that way. It could be an audible exhale out the mouth. Here we go, 3 short inhales. This is the last one. As you come down, stay down. The arms will slowly slow down. When you're ready, you take your deep inhale and you take an exhale. Bowing forward, Uttanasana. You can give a little shake to the head. You might take the head no and shake the head yes. Take that chin in a little circle one way and then a little circle the other way. And then shift your hands to your hips. Lift at the top of your breastbone. Lift the top of the breastbone and come all the way back up to standing. So let's remember the top of the breastbone. We talked about this if you were in class Friday. The very top of the manubrium. So you can even feel with your finger, you can go to that little notch that's right above the top of the breastbone. And then you come down and it's about 3 fingers width and the top of the breastbone. And then take your fingers and trace across your collarbones, the top of it, out to the little platform out at the top of the shoulder. So just knowing this area, sometimes palpating it on yourself, you go, okay, where is the top of the breastbone? Oh, there it is. Really be firm so you can really feel this. And then walk to the top of your collarbones. Go to the top of them, walk out, pressing at the top of them. You come all the way out and you go, and there's the top, the acromion process at the top of the shoulder. So let's just have our awareness in this area. And then we're going to take a wide-legged forward fold. So if you need blocks or, excuse me, something to bow forward to, take your feet wide apart. Excuse me, make your feet parallel. And hands up on the hips. take a deep inhale. And with your next exhale, lift the top of the breastbone, broaden across the collarbones. Another inhale, so you're lifting up, and exhale, keep that lift as you bow forward. And then when the hamstrings say, that's it, then release your hands and then bow more inward, letting go of that lift, letting it turn inward towards the heart, towards the belly. And then with your next inhale, let's straighten both arms and lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, bow forward again. Again, inhale, halfway up. Hands can be on the blocks or the ground. Exhale, just bend your elbows, bow forward. One more time, you're going to inhale halfway. And your exhale, you bow forward. You're turning inward. Then take the hands, and they might be on blocks, they might be on the ground, but bring the wrist, so the wrist is going to be underneath your shoulders. So your spine is long, front to back. So you might need blocks for this. You know, if your spine is, if the hamstrings are shorter and tighter, then it'd be more valuable, to have the hands on blocks so that you can really find the length through both the front and the back of your body. Because I want to take this to a twist. And when we twist, we want the spine to be long in both directions right now. So then you're going to take your right hand into that space between your two hands. It could be on the block, could be on the ground. And from the back of your neck, from the base of your neck, I want you to reach straight down into your right hand, left hand up on your hip. So as you reach from the back of the base of the neck, across the top of the scapula, all the way into the down arm, other hand is on the hip. You're twisting towards your left. And then exhale, come back down to center. Switch your hands. It might be your left hand on your block, right hand on your hip. Reach all the way down into that hand. And then exhale, come back to center. Bow forward one more time, where you walk your hands. Maybe they go between your feet. Deep breathing. And then walk the hands back out. Shift them up onto your hips. Lift the top of your breastbone. And inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, we'll step the feet back together. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, bring them forward. Clasp the hands. Inhale, draw the hands towards you. Exhale, reach them away. Inhale, lift both arms. Exhale, stay there. Another deep inhale. Then you're going to exhale, release the hands. Reach out the heels of the hands. Draw the fingernails back. Letting the arms slowly come down to your side. One more time. Inhale the arms wide. Exhale, bring the hands together. Change the clasp. Inhale, pull it towards you. Exhale, reach it away. Inhale, lift your arms. Lengthen all the way down into the ground, up towards the sky. And then exhale, you're going to release both arms. Good. Now step your feet apart. You're going to step the feet apart, but turn both feet out slightly. So that, how far out? It depends how much the inner thighs will let the knees go out. So you're going to inhale, take the arms out. And exhale, bend both knees. Take the knees wide, like they're pointing towards your ankles. Good. Bring your hands down to the tops of the thighs. And now you're going to bow the torso forward and you're going to let the shoulders shrug up towards your earlobes. Knees wide apart. You can glance at your knees. Are your knees pointing towards your toes? So we're pointing the knees toward the toes. And now you're going to take your left arm and you're going to press it on the left inner thigh as you twist a little bit towards your right. Feel the breath deep in the belly. Exhale, come back to center. Another deep inhale. With your next exhale, you're pressing on your right inner thigh and you're turning towards your left. See, deep breath in so you can feel the breath coming in. Exhale, you're going to come back to center. We're going to inhale, straighten both of your legs. And exhale, let's step the feet back together. Just pausing for a moment, pausing to notice the ground beneath you, the sky above you. So you've got these two directions always available, ground beneath you and the sky above you, the space behind you. The right side, your left side. And as you take a deep breath in, you're inside. And the outside. And step your feet wide apart again. Turn the toes out again. Inhale, take the arms out. And exhale, bend both knees. Deep inhale. Exhale, bring the hands forward. Clasp them. Inhale, draw them toward you. Exhale, reach them away. Deep breathing. Inhale, lift both arms. Exhale, straighten both legs. Release the arms. Inhale the arms back out. Exhale, bend both knees. Inhale, bring the hands towards you, change the clasp. Deep inhale, the hands come toward you, elbows wide. The exhale, you're pressing away. Your inhale, you're lifting yourself up. Can you lift the top of the breastbone? You take another deep inhale. And then exhale, press into both feet, arms wide. Two more. Inhale, the arms go out. Exhale, you bend the knees, bring the hands toward each other, make a clasp. Deep inhale, the elbows out. The exhale, you're pressing out. Your inhale, you're lifting not only the arms, but the top of the breastbone. All the way up to the arms. Your next exhale, arms wide. Straighten the legs. You feel the heart rate. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, knees wide. They're going towards your toes. Inhale, change the clasp. Draw the hands in. Press them away. Inhale, lift the arms. Lift those little corners in the shoulders. And then inhale, press into the feet. Straighten the legs. Relax both arms. Let's step the feet back together. Shine the palms forward. You're standing in mountain pose, like the majesty of the mountains, reaching into the ground and lengthening all the way up towards the sky. And then relaxing that. And we're going to take this to triangle. So I had said, before I go there, I had said that you were going to put your attention to the top of your breastbone. And you knew we talked about this area coming out the shoulders. And we've talked about this in class earlier this year, but you might also remember the base of the neck, T7, T1, base of the neck, and coming out the spine of your scapula. So you might notice, where is that? Where's that? Where's the base of your neck, C7, T1? And where's the spine of the scapula? And walk it all the way back out to that plateau at the top of the shoulder. So we get a sense of this space. I don't know what that means. Okay. It gave me some little question. So I don't know, but I'm going to trust Susie will get it. Okay, so you're going to step your feet wide apart. You're going to go to your right first. So you're going to turn your left foot in and your right foot out. And can you make sure you've got either 1 or 2 blocks, maybe the seat of a chair? What do you need to be at the right outer ankle? How much height in order to keep your spine staying long? And then when you're ready, inhale, take the arms out. And exhale, point the pelvis toward the back foot. Both legs are straight. And then when you're just the same with the forward fold, once the hamstrings say, that's what I've got, can you still, let's see, is the pelvis pointing towards the back foot? That's where you can often get a little bit more length. All right, so you're reaching down into that hand that's on a block or the chair. Reach straight into it, just like you did a little bit ago when you did the wide-legged forward twist in Prasarita Padottanasana. And is the rib cage turning? Are you turning the top of the breastbone towards the sky before you ever turn the neck? Turn the breastbone. Then you might be looking either down at your foot, straight ahead, or maybe your neck will allow you to look up. Lastly, here, you might add the arm. Can you still find the pause between the inhale and the exhale? Your next inhale, let's come up. Exhale, release. And we'll spin the feet the other direction. Left foot out. Right foot in. You might need a prop at the outer right shin. Left shin, outer left shin. Because you're going to your second side. All right, let's inhale, take the arms out. And then exhale, the back head can come to the hip as you begin to bring the pelvis pointing towards the back foot. Balancing the weight in the front foot, because we're looking for the weight to come through the core of the front leg. not just the outer heel of the front leg, but the center of the front leg. And then turning the breastbone towards the sky. And reaching the arm up. And then your next inhale, come up. Exhale, release the arm. Step the feet back together. And stand in mountain pose for a moment. Just noticing Great. So can we take, I'd like to come into an upper back opener. I want to get the upper back a little more open. So the way we're going to do that is going to be either you'll be using possibly a couple blocks. So I'll try to give you a few different options. One will be 2 blocks end to end with a blanket across the top of that. And you might want to have, if you have a pillow or another blanket, some of you might like to have, that available for when you come back. So you just have a little, because some of you might have some issues with your neck and you want a little more support. You might, if you don't have 2 blocks or a blanket, then you might want, if you have a foam roller, you could use that to put the shoulder blades on. Then you could use one of your blocks, maybe for the back of the head, or a pillow. And if you don't have blocks or a foam roller, then you'll take a blanket and roll it up tightly. And that will be your upper back. Your upper back will go on that. Okay, is there enough light in here? If there's not, Susie, you could tell me and I can turn the over lights on if that would help. Okay, so which one of those methods you're going to choose? Once you do, you're going to sit in front of whatever you've chosen and bring the shoulder blades onto either the blocks, your foam roller, or a rolled up blanket. Hold the chin to the chest. And please don't be in a hurry. Isn't it great not to be in a hurry? So keep your lower ribs down in the front, the lower front ribs. And with your next exhale, slowly start to come up and over your yoga blocks. Chin toward the chest, holding your head in your hands. Not having a destination in mind, more the awareness of what's happening through the upper back.
Hey, Lynn, can you hear me?
Yeah.
There has been a request for more light.
Okay, great. Can easily do that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're coming up and over those blocks or the blanket or the roller. And your head, the back of your head, maybe is finding, I know the light is a little weird because you can't really see the different, where my head's going, but just notice in your own body when you're coming back and over these blocks or the foam roller, it's more about what's happening in the upper back. So you might have your hands clasped behind your head the whole time. That's possible. Some of you might find that the neck is comfortable and that you can release your hands. And you might bring them overhead. So now's the chance also to release the top of the breastbone, the top of the collarbones, and then if your hands aren't behind your head, put them there. Everyone lift the chin to the chest, straighten one of your legs, and come up to sitting. Turn around and then take downward facing dog. And you might have your little stack. You could turn it sideways, or you could bring yourself sideways and just make your little stack tall enough to rest your forehead. Not but because you're going to bend your arms if you're still keeping your arms straight. Strongly reaching to the hands. Just like at the beginning, when you took your arms overhead, when you were standing and you were reaching up, reaching all the way up. So even now, shoulder blades are reaching toward the upper arms, and the upper arms reaching all the way to the finger pads and knuckles. And then let's walk your hands towards your feet. And hands on your hips. And come all the way up to standing. Great. Can you now walk over? Now I'm going to pretend this is a wall behind me. You're going to walk to a wall. And you're only going to have your hands on the wall. So you're going to walk back to a wall somewhere in your space, and you're going to be a little ways from the wall. So that what you've got on the wall, if there was a wall behind me, is only my hands touching the wall. Just my palms on the wall, not anywhere else on my body. But from that reaching into the wall, can you lift the top of your breastbone across the collarbones? A lot of strength. You'll probably feel the back of your tricep, the back of the upper arm. You might feel some heat being created at the side ribs. Lifting the top of the breastbone, a lot of strength. Deep inhale, and then exhale, release that. Just letting the arms dangle and just dropping back into your breathing. Okay, great. And then we're gonna set up to take a sun salutation. So I'm gonna move my blankets just off to one side because I might use one to pad my knee in this series. I'm gonna be sideways to you. So have your blocks if you've got some, a blanket or a pillow. Come to the top of your mat. All right, hands back in front of the heart. And in coming back into that space of moving from that place of love, moving from this place of love inside you, inside each of us, inside all of us. And when you're ready, release your hands. Inhale, lift both arms. And exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, bowing all the way down. Inhaling halfway up. And exhale, downward facing dog or puppy pose. And breathing deeply, connecting all the way into the finger pads and knuckles. With your next inhale, lift your right leg up. And bring your right foot forward. So there's your low lunge. In your low lunge, you could have hands on blocks or hands on the ground. When you're ready, if you want to, take the arms wide and come upright. You might lift the arms up alongside the ears. Inhale the arms wide. Exhale, bow forward. Let's inhale, we're gonna step forward. And exhale, step the right foot back. Back to the low lunge. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, rise. Inhale, lift the arms. Lift the top of the breastbone. Reach through the fingers if the arms are up. Inhale, take them wide. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, step forward. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, bow. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms overhead. Exhale your hands back in front of your heart. Inhale, upward arms pose. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog or puppy. Inhale, lift the right leg. And exhale, right foot forward. Inhale, come all the way upright. Lift the top of the breastbone. And maybe lift the arms by the ears. Inhale the arms wide. You're going to exhale, plank. Inhale in plank pose. Exhale, lightly touch your knees down. And exhale, bring the chest down. Inhale, cobra. So top of the breastbone, broad across the tops of the collarbones, all the way to the tops of the shoulders. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, all fours. Exhale, plank and downward facing dog. Again, strongly reaching toward the finger pads and knuckles. Long spine. With your next inhale, lift your left leg. And exhale, left foot forward. Your inhale, upright. Inhale the arms out. Exhale, bow. Inhale, step forward. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands in front of the heart. All right, last one. This one, we are going to bring the back knee to the ground. So you might want some padding for that. So we'll inhale, lift both arms. Lengthen all the way up towards the heavens. Exhale, forward fold. Bowing forward and releasing all the way down to the ground. So you're letting the top of the breastbone turn in. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, right foot forward. Bring the back knee down, so you'll be above the back left knee. You can put a pillow or blanket, blocks. Hands could be on blocks. If you have blocks, bring them back so that, again, you're going to lift through the top of the breastbone. If you don't have any blocks, take the hands to the top of the thigh. Lift the top of the breastbone. Some of you might bring the hands behind the head, elbows toward each other, and lift the elbows, lift the breastbone. Exhale, come all the way down and step to plank. Inhale in your plank pose. Exhale, touch the knees down. Bring your chest down. Inhale, cobra. Breastbone lifts, broad across the collarbones. Base of the skull is lifted. Exhale, lower. Inhale to all fours. And exhale, either downward facing dog or puppy. Long spine, looking for length through the spine. Deep breathing. With your next inhale, lift your left leg from the left inner thigh. Exhale, left foot forward. Exhale, let's bring the back knee down. If you have blocks, you could have them tall, back towards the hips. Lift up to the top of the breastbone. Remember where that is. Lift that upper third of this breastbone. Broaden across the collarbone. So you might have hands on the thigh, maybe behind the head, elbows toward each other so the upper back is broad. Lift the elbows. Release. And then you're going to lift the back knee. Inhale, step forward. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale halfway. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands back in front of your heart. You can close your eyes and dangle your arms. And then you're welcome to open your eyes again. And for this next part, I want to open the top of the thigh. You don't need a chair. You could use a wall, a chair, whatever, just something that you might want something to help you balance. So we're going to stand on your right leg first. So you're actually going to have the wall or the chair on your right side. You're going to shift the weight to the right and either grab onto the ankle, shin, or use a strap, and then start to take that knee, your left knee, straight down towards the ground. So oftentimes we find that the knee will be out to the side. So point your knee towards the floor, towards the earth. And can you lift at the top of the breastbone again? The upper third of the breastbone. Can you broaden across the collarbones? Is the knee still reaching towards the earth? From the left low belly, from the left lower psoas, can you reach all the way into the left inner thigh? And from the left low belly, start to lengthen up. So there's two directions. And then we'll release that side. Stand on both feet. Let your attention drop inside so you can notice the difference between the two. Just that inner spatial quality. And then we'll take you'll turn around and face the other direction or whatever. So that you're going to be shifting the weight to your left leg. And when left inner thigh, that whole piece, and then bend your right knee, grab on below the ankle, but then, or shin, or grab a strap. whatever you need in order to bring the knee pointing down towards the ground again. The left knee pointing to the earth. And then can you lift the top of the breastbone? And as you lift, can you also keep reaching from the right low belly to the right inner thigh, and from the right low belly all the way up. So opening the front of the right hip. You might even enjoy reaching the foot toward, or the shin, wherever you have a hold, into the hand more. And then we'll let that go. Stand on both feet. Okay. Then we can, if you had a chair, you could go away from that or move it or whatever. Okay. We're going to take a forward fold. Just Uttanasana. So you can just come into Uttanasana. Hands can either be on blocks or the ground, but have both legs straight. And release the head completely. Release the head, release the neck, turn the top of the breastbone in towards the heart. You might even shift the weight slightly so it'll be more over the hips. I don't know why it's so dark today on the screen, sorry. Who knows? Somebody. And then bow forward again. So now you might need your hands out a little farther in front of you. Then you'll shift the hips back. Inhale halfway. Exhale, you're going to come all the way to the ground. You're going to come all the way down to kneeling. And then lift. Okay. So I want to offer bow pose for you. So I'm going to turn this down. I don't know. Everything's a little darker in here today. It's weird. No idea. You'd think, and you don't even know what color I'm wearing because it doesn't even look quite like that. So they're not purple. They're not. All right. You're going to take a blanket. And you've folded it in half, so it's lengthwise, and bring it across your mat. Then you're going to lie down on your blanket with the pubic bone hanging off the edge of it. Make sure when you lie down on your blanket that the pubic bone is not on the blanket. Okay? And then, can you go ahead and bend one knee and reach back, and you can grab either the inner foot so that the thumb is on probably the ball of the foot. Some of you might want a strap going around both ankles, and you would hold on to the strap. So you're either grabbing onto the feet, the inner foot, the outer foot, or a strap. And then coming up into bow pose. Lifting the top of the breastbone, lengthening across the collarbones, and coming down and resting. If there's a question, you're welcome to ask it. You can unmute yourself and ask me a question.
I didn't quite get that, Lynn.
Okay, let me turn you up. I can't hear you very well. Can you turn up your?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, kind of. Go ahead.
Hi, Lynn. By the time I got the strap around my feet, I wasn't
Yeah.
sure Then are you holding onto the strap with both hands and pulling?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right. My face was down, so I couldn't really see what you were doing. So
Yeah, no worries. You probably wouldn't have been able to see me anyway, but
could you
let's,
demo one more time so I can watch you rather than doing it at the same time?
yes.
Demo that? Okay.
So if I'm going to use a strap, I'm going to take the strap. So I might have to put the strap on my ankles, like seated a little bit so I can get them around there. And I'll hold it with one hand while I'm coming over onto my belly. And then I walk my hands. So now the strap is around my ankles, and I'm actually going to wrap it around my wrist. And then I'm going to keep my knees on the ground, lift at the top of the breastbone, and come up into bow pose there. It's a little, let's see if I can. So I have to push into the strap. That would be with the strap. Should we try it? Let's try another one. Now, before we go, I want you to remember about the deep low belly, about the psoas, that it is reaching towards the inner thigh as well, slowly lengthening up. So there's not letting go completely. The psoas needs to have a little bit of tone in it as you lengthen it in this pose. So you either have a hold of the ankles, the inner foot, or the strap. And a deep inhale. And then you're going to start to, you reach into the hands or into the strap. And release, rest. I know, these are kind of hard, so you're doing great. You're doing great if you're trying any version. You could even be doing just seal pose if you didn't want to add the arms back. But let's take one more because it gets easier the more you do. Inhale deeply. When you're ready, come on up. And release. Take the hands to the floor and push yourself up and back to child's pose. When you go to child's pose, if it's okay with the ankles and the knees, bring the sit bones back towards the heels and rest your forehead on a blanket or your fists or a block. Let's keep the back body long. And then you'll walk yourself back up. And now you're gonna sit on either a blanket or a block or a pillow, whatever. I'm ready to take the twist. So let's take your right leg long and your left foot on the ground. Take your left hand behind you and either clasping the knee inside the elbow as you twist towards your left, Broaden from that top of the breastbone all the way out the top of your left collarbone. And then come back to center. And let's take your second side. Right hand behind you. Left hand, elbow might hug your right knee. Great, and then you come out. Good. Just slide off your blanket if you're seated on the blanket. Come onto your back and bring your knees up to the chest. Grab onto your shins or your ankles. Take the knees a little wider. Maybe not the widest. Dead bug or happy baby pose. Let's keep the feet a little close together. And bring your awareness to your low back, top of the sacrum. Then you're going to cross your ankles, cross the shins. Cross your shins and grab onto your outer feet or a strap. So you've got the shins crossed. I'm holding on to the little toe side of my feet. And just know which shin is on top for you. And then switch which shin is there. So you're going to cross the shins and grab onto the little toe side of the feet again. So we're making space at the back of the sacrum. And then undo that cross and bring both knees to the chest. And then roll over to one side and use your arms to push yourself up. So when we come down now, we're going to take Shavasana. If for Shavasana, you would like to make a little height just under the back body, not under the glutes. You won't be sitting on this. You would have a blanket that you're going to sit in front of. If you have a pillow, you could put a pillow or another blanket to a pillow. And then we'll have the legs straight. If you need another pillow or a blanket or something under the knees, so you can't see the color of that blanket very well, but it is, I'm not seated on it. I'm seated in front of it. I have a blanket under my knees. And as I lie back, I'm going to have a blanket or a pillow under my head. So make sure that the pelvis is on the ground. The blanket might be up and under the spine. And the forehead, is it level with the chin or slightly higher? And then, do you remember at the beginning of class, if you were doing the balanced inhale and exhale, maybe you remember the length of your breath. So what I'd like you to do for the next couple minutes would be we're going to divide the breath into thirds. So you'll inhale, feel the breath come in to the lower part of the rib cage. So if it's 6, you'd go 1, 2, there goes the breath, 3, 4 in the middle, 5, 6, up higher. Exhale smoothly the whole length. So 6 all the way out. And then the inhale again. So the exhale, if it's a count of 6, the exhale would be that full 6. The inhale can be divided into thirds. So it'll be 1, 2, the rib cage, lower ribs, 3, 4, the middle, 5, 6, the upper, and then a count of 6 for that long, slow exhale, or whatever your count is. Just do 2 more breaths like that. And at the bottom of your next exhale, just let go of any control on your breath. And just come into resting. When you go outside and you see the empty streets, the empty stadiums, the empty train platforms, don't say to yourself, it looks like the end of the world. What you are seeing is love in action. What you are seeing in that negative space is how much we do care for each other, for grandparents, parents, brothers, sisters, and for the people we will never meet. Some people will lose their jobs over this. Some people will lose their businesses, and some will lose their lives. So it's all the more reason to take a moment when you're out on a walk or at the store or watching the news to look into the emptiness and to marvel at all that love. Let it fill you and sustain you. It isn't the end of the world. It is the most remarkable act of global solidarity we may ever witness. Allowing your breath to deepen. Beginning to awaken your body to movement. Make a transition over to one side. And use the support of your arms to come back up to sitting. And you can bring your hands in front of your heart. And may we feel inspired by the time that we take and the practice of tapas, some discipline. Namaste. Thank you for being here. I'm going to come a little closer. We can stop the any recording.